Hey everybody, today I'm going to pretend that I am an apprentice with a $1,000 budget to get my very first tattooing setup. I know $1,000 seems like a lot of money to be dropping on equipment for a job that you're not even getting paid for yet, but in the tattooing world, $1,000 really isn't that much when it comes to buying machines and equipment. Some machines cost over $1,000 themselves. So I'm going to go through my list of must-haves and I'm going to show you what I would buy if I'm on that type of budget. The majority of my budget today will be going towards a tattoo machine. I do believe when you're first learning how to tattoo, it's really important to have a quality machine to learn with. Yes, you can accomplish any tattoo with a cheap machine, say a $5 machine off of Amazon, but that goes for somebody that already understands how to tattoo. Learning to tattoo is already frustrating enough without having to deal with a piece of garbage tattoo machine. I'm going to leave out a lot of things that I would need for tattooing, like bags, plastic wraps, disinfectants, all of those things. Obviously, I need to get those, but I'm going to focus more so on the core things like a machine, inks, and furniture. The links for everything that will be on my list will be down in the video description if you wanted to go check them out. Let's start out with furniture. The things that I'm going to be needing to start tattooing is something for me to sit on, something for my client to sit on, an armrest, a tray, and a station. I found this adjustable client bed and stool combo on Amazon. It's only $239. The adjustable bed will be perfect for any position that I need to put my client in, and all I need is a simple stool to sit on. Amazon is good for stuff like this for furniture because it's cheap, but at the same time, I would never buy anything that goes inside of my client during the tattooing process like needles or ink. Anything like that, I always make sure to buy them directly from the supplier or from a reputable tattooing supply company. Next, I'm gonna need a tray to put my machine, my inks, and my green soap bottle on while I'm tattooing. This one is $49 on Amazon. The important thing about this tray is that it's metal and not a porous surface. Even though this tray will be wrapped during the tattooing process, if I do end up getting any type of blood or ink on it, I'm able to easily clean it off and disinfect it. Next, I'm gonna need an armrest for my client. This armrest is $59. For a budget armrest, this thing does look pretty sturdy. It does have a wide base, and it looks like the actual armrest portion is pretty large for your client's arm or leg to sit on. The last piece of furniture that I need is a station. This one is $69. It has a drawer and some shelves on it. It's also made of metal, which means it's non-porous and I'm able to easily clean it. After furniture costs, I spent $410, which leaves me with $690 to get the rest of my equipment. Now I need a machine, a power supply, ink, and needles. We're gonna pretend that my mentor is a nice person and that he's going to let me bum plastic wrap, ink caps, stencil stuff, and all the million other things that I'm going to need to tattoo until I can afford it. Starting off with what ink I would get for my black, I would get a bottle of Big Sleep's Killer Bee Black. I'll start off with a 1 ounce bottle, which is $13. I'm not gonna be buying a color set just yet because as an apprentice, I would just be practicing line work, simple shading, and packing solid black. So let's grab some needles and a machine. I'm gonna grab some cartridges from FYT. For needles, I'm gonna buy a box of regular 7 liners. Those are on sale right now for $20 each. I'll also grab a box of 14 round shaders. Those are on sale for $25. And lastly, a box of 15 curved mags. Those are also on sale for $25. Now, the reason I picked those groupings as a learning artist, those are very basic and universal groupings to be using. The 7 liners are a really nice size to build my confidence with lines. The 14 round shader is nice to be able to pack black in small areas. And then also, if you want to venture into doing thicker lines, you can also line with that. The 15 curved mag, I think, is not too big. It's not too small. I think it's just the right size to be able to start to learn to shade and to pack solid black with. Now, after all that, I'm left with $507 to spend on a machine and a power supply. For me, I think it's a little easier to learn with a little bit of a harder hitting machine. That's why I'd pick the Ava EP7 Plus. The EP7 Plus has a 4.2 millimeter stroke, which means that this is a harder hitting machine. That makes this machine good for lining, packing solid black, and also shading. I would pick this machine not only because of its stroke length, but also because I have the option of going wireless with the batteries or plugged in with an RCA cable. The cool thing about this machine too is there's an adapter that attaches to the batteries, so you can connect those batteries to other machines. So once you buy a second machine, you already have a set of batteries that you can use on it. And the last reason I picked the EP7 Plus is because I now don't have to buy a power supply. I already have the 2 batteries that come with the machine. This leaves me with a remaining budget of $107. That $107 can go towards taxes and shipping costs, or if I still had enough left over, I would go back and maybe buy a bigger bottle of black, or maybe I would pick up an extra box of needles. So that is how I would spend my $1,000 budget as an apprentice trying to get my very first tattooing setup. Obviously, it would be ideal if I could spend more money, but I think the things that I just outlined would give me a really good start as an apprentice. And that way, when I start making money, I can start to upgrade my equipment, which I mean is just an addiction. I have an entire channel surrounding me buying new equipment. I think this was a really fun game. Maybe next time I'll try to do this with $500, But then again, with the furniture cost, I think that brought us up to like close to 400 bucks. And then we would basically be getting a very cheap garbage machine and needles. So maybe that's not really possible with the $500. But either way, let me know if this was helpful to you. If you like videos like this, I'll try to make more like budget-friendly videos. Let me know if you think this is a good setup for an apprentice or what your apprentice setup was like. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you have a good day.